A very warm welcome everyone, thank you for joining me. My name is Nick, we're on the ZX Spectrum 48K and we're going to be looking at Star Wars Droids, published by Mastertronic in 1988. Now, it's a game that also came out on the Amstrad CPC and it's based on a TV show which started in 1985 and ran for 13 episodes, which was voiced by Anthony Daniels, the voice of C3PO. Now, we do have a cheat for infinite energy, but I won't use that. We'll see how far we go. So this game's got terrible reviews everywhere, but I'll review it how I want to see it. So here we go. There's C3PO, who I'm controlling. Now, the instructions of this are all in Spanish, so I don't know what's going on. But let's have a look. So that ducks down. The arrows are to go left, forward, and up and down. You can fire that ball to kill the droids. Now, you see our energy level up the top left. We must get to the end of the level and I think get a key to open a door or solve a code. I did like the cartoon Star Wars Droids. Won't on for very long, but it was repeated quite a bit. So, yes. Now, I don't know why they've gone for controls down the bottom when I've got a joystick here. I would prefer left and right on the joystick rather than clicking on a control on the screen to do it, but there we go. That makes it a little bit awkward. You see the inventory up the top right. I think we have to collect key cards. I think we've got a few already to actually open doors. Yes, and then there's a coded sequence. So here's a computer, and here's a force field. So what do we do here? R2D2 is guarding my rear end, and there's another droid comes in, and it explodes. I thought all droids are generally quite kind to each other, unless they're on Jabba's sail barge. Now, this game isn't impressing me too much so far. This is the 48K, the 128K I believe has got some sound, but I think the gameplay is absolutely identical. It's very tricky to select to fire stuff very quickly, and in Star Wars, how often did C3PO attack anything throwing balls at things? So that's not blowing up the computer. This game is looking pretty stinky, actually. Can we just walk through the force field? Have we got enough energy? We'll soon find out, because that's what I'm going to do. I can't seem to unlock anything. See, that box I just clicked on was R2D2, the astromech droid, trying to decode stuff, and we've just walked through the force field. Energy hasn't taken too much of a hit. As I say, if you had this one, let me know, either on the Amstrad CPC or the ZX Spectrum. There's not too many gameplay reviews of this actually on YouTube, which leads me to believe that people didn't really know what the clue was going on. As I say, instructions are quite limited online, but it's a quite straightforward game, really. It's a horizontal scroller. You, controlling C3PO with R2 at your rear, must go through level to level, destroying robots, avoiding contact, ducking underneath if necessary, getting key cards, and then opening the door to get to the next stage. And that is it, really. Right, now I need the astromech bit. Right, there we go. So, now there's 7 lights here, light bulbs. It's very futuristic, like Star Wars. It's going to give us a coded sequence which we must repeat to get to the next stage. That's what I think what's going to happen. So buttons 1 to 7. The ZX Spectrum has got 7 basic colours. If we don't go into bright 1. Right, so 1, that's blue. Right, blue, red. Oh man, this is going to test me. Concentrate. Just repeat the sequence. Good, I've done it. I am a genius. Now, I'd imagine that with each one, it's going to get gradually more tricky. I would have liked an energy to go back up again, but there we go. And that's essentially the whole game. Levels are going to keep repeating, getting gradually more difficult, and that end sequence, the code sequence, is going to be more advanced. So a bit like that old show, The Krypton Factor, and that's it really. There's not much really to make you come back. It's large sprites. Doesn't look much like C3PO. Oh, that's pause the game, is it? Right, okay. Yeah. I think some of the reviews at the time were maybe a little bit cruel. It's okay. 1988 though, that's well late in the day. You want a really exciting game by that point. Apparently the game is quite buggy later on. But the control system is completely and utterly flawed. Didn't need that at all. Need to just fire button to shoot stuff, left and right, up and down, joystick control, maybe space bar to do that astromech bit, P to pause. And that would have been a lot better rather than this clicking on stuff, a bit like Lemmings. But whereas Lemmings does work, if you've got a mouse, this does not. Yes. Now, you might not have seen the cartoon, but if you're of a certain age, like my age, you would have done. I believe the episodes may be on YouTube, so type them in, Star Wars Droids cartoon, and you can watch them. But it was the adventures of C3PO and R2D2 each week, set between Revenge of the Sith, which hadn't come out then, and A New Hope. And each week they'd get into some slightly different problems, have a different master, and have an adventure, essentially. Boba Fett was in one of them, I think. Anyway, can we get in here? I'm not sure. I don't think so. Oh, right, so now we need a more advanced sequence here. I won't be playing this again, by the way. Right, as soon as I hit M, it'll give me the sequence. I'm looking down on the buttons here. Hopefully it doesn't go all the way around the place. Right, that's 2. Oh, man. I was never good on the piano at school when we did music. They invited us all up to press a key. It had to be the right ones, and I was back loads of octaves out. Game over. That's me dead. I think this deserves just one more go, but it's pretty bland as a game. It's not really giving me Star Wars. You've seen all it has to offer in the very first stage. Controls are very awkward to try and flick between throwing stuff at short notice when a droid's coming at you. But you certainly know what to do. So the instructions really aren't that necessary to completing the game. Horizontal scroller, avoid the robots, use your astromech R2D2 to unlock the doors, and that involves getting a light bulb sequence which repeat what the computer tells you, play a little tune, and then it's the next stage. Quite boring, really. But these TV tie-ins and movie games don't tend to be very good. I mean, I do like the Star Wars games which are based on the arcades, the vector graphics ones, Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back, so check those ones out if you haven't already. And Return of the Jedi wasn't too bad either, though it works slightly different. This one, although inventive, it's an interesting idea. It's not really screaming out Star Wars to me. I don't know what that smiling face is. I don't remember that in the cartoon. But there's some good elements to it, but it's just too annoying as a game, really, for me to get any long-term benefit from it. That's just what I think, really. Reviews at the time were, I don't normally check the reviews before looking at it, but they weren't very favourable. I have to agree with them, although maybe they was a little bit too harsh. But graphically, it's okay, isn't it? Some of the robots coming at you. Would have liked a bit more variety, perhaps. Don't recognise that droid behind me. It's like a pedal bin in a sort of like mining cart. Right, we know what happens here now. 1 to 7 to activate the lights bulbs. As soon as the computer gives us the sequence, so it should start just 1 as a sequence, then 2 as a sequence, then 3 as a sequence. You've got it? You've got it, right. 2. 1, 2. Oh, man. Right, you can have as many goes as you want, but a robot might come and bump into you and drain your energy. I mean, it's hard to remember stuff and comment at the same time. Oh man, it's going all over the place now. Oh, boo. My memory's not great, is it? Nice font, Star Wars Droids in the top middle. I've got a bad feeling about this. So have you got a choice between Star Wars Battlefront 2, and although I do like retro games, and Star Wars Droids on the ZX Spectrum, then go for Battlefront 2. Yes. Code incorrect. Oh, I'll start hitting myself over the head with a frying pan in a moment. Oh man, come on. I think by the time you've had your third go of this, you'd not want to be playing anymore. Come on. Concentrate, Nick. Code correct, good. Right, so that door's now opened. We go on to stage 2, but I haven't got too much energy left. Right, we won't take this too much further. We've pretty much seen all we need to see. Animation of C3PO walking is to be expected. Well, I don't know why there's so many droids coming after us. R2 should do the talking, but he doesn't. He's very quiet in this. Whether he says more in the 128k version, I doubt it. Right, come on, C3PO. And you're crazy like walking. He's a protocol droid, fluent in over 6 million forms of languages. Right, here we go. Can we do it off the first door? It might be the second door. Come on, get to the astromech thing. Right, go. No, maybe I'm just past it. Anyway, let's go to the next door. That's what we did last time. Energy not looking great, but scores going up and up and up, no matter what we're doing. We can even stop walking and the score will go up. Yes. So we've got to escape from somewhere. Whether it's worth it, I don't know. Maybe a memory wipe or a restraining bolt and I just stay down here forever. Right, there's a computer again. Like all those computers you know in Star Wars, yes. Right, let's have a light bulb moment. Right, we've activated it, good. Keys 1 to 7. Activate the light bulbs on the panel. Code incorrect. Right, we won't be too silly about this. I'm starting to get a bit bored of this game now. Code incorrect. Yeah. Anyway, I'll have one last goal, and then we'll say arrivederci to this very, very, very average game. Come on. Oh, jeepers, sucker in succotash. Well, I think we'll leave that one there. Hope you liked having a look at it. Yeah, that was Star Wars Droids, published by Mastertronic in 1988 on the zxspectrum 48K. Got any comments about this game, similar games, or anything retro, then please put that below. I don't like this game, let's put it like that. It's not hideous, but it's just not hooking me at all. So a big thank you to everyone that's subscribed so far, helping the channel grow, really appreciated. If you want to help a bit more, it's patreon.com/njenkin. Take a look at that, see what it's all about. And until next time, take great care of yourself and a very fond goodbye.
Goodbye.